before God, before life, before all of it. This chick on a pedestal, and everything else came second, third, fourth, fifth. One thing that we hold on to the tightest is the one thing that is blocking our blessing. What's going on, YouTube? We're back again today with another video. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Ivan Compres. I'm 20 years old and I run an online fitness coaching business where I help men transform their lives and become their best versions. With that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on all platforms at Ivan Compres. Today I'm going to be talking about my story and the system that allowed me to overcome all the struggles and challenges that I faced in my life. I remember vividly when I was starting my business and starting to get into self-improvement. I was in a relationship at the time, and that relationship wasn't the best for me. I was controlled by it. When things wouldn't go good in the relationship, I would feel terrible. When they would go well, I'd feel good. And it was truly because I was putting the relationship before everything else. I was putting the relationship first, before God, before life, before all of it. It was like I put this chick on a pedestal and everything else came second, third, fourth, fifth. Every single day, I would wake up and I would kind of just stare at the ceiling. I knew that something was wrong because I would wake up every single morning and stare at the ceiling. I wouldn't even want to get out of bed. And it was truly because I wasn't living in my purpose. I made my purpose that relationship. I made my purpose that girl. I made my purpose satisfying her needs and not satisfying my own and my God-given purpose. But as soon as that relationship left the picture, I realized and unlocked levels of happiness I never even knew existed. I tapped into levels of my potential I knew was always buried inside of me, but weren't coming out and flourishing. Sometimes the one thing that we hold on to the tightest is the one thing that is blocking our blessings, and it isn't until we allow it to leave the picture and let it go that everything changes. But today I'm going to be talking about exactly how I broke free from that and exactly how I was able to transition from being in that miserable life, going through those days where I didn't want to wake up, to being consistent, disciplined, feeling the best I've ever felt, and looking in the best shape of my life. So let's get right into it, and I will see you on the other side. Boom. So, welcome to the other side. We're about to dissect everything that I was talking about and the exact way that I was able to move from being weak, undisciplined, unmotivated, feeling like shit, feeling like my entire self worth was placed on that girl, to taking over my entire life, absolutely realizing that I am the creator of my own reality and changing everything, literally step by step process and essentially the code of how life works. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I cracked this code and how I've been able to move forward with everything. So the secret war that no one saw, right? Every single day I would wake up and I'd put on a smile for all the people around me. I would see my friends or my family and I would just smile. But inside, like the struggle that I went through, like it was real. Like I literally remember vividly waking up in the morning, like going to the kitchen, seeing my mom, like I'd put on a fake smile. But deep down, like I was hurt, I was insecure, and truly I was in survival mode. Like it was just a battle of internal conflicts, and I'm gonna tell you why. It wasn't just because of the fact that I placed all my self-worth on the relationship, but because of the fact that I had been through things with this chick in the past that kind of like led me to be in survival mode. Now I'll explain. So first and foremost, just to go in detail on the story, literally I was just lied to, I was cheated on, and when I went through those things, for some reason in my mind, I had a scarcity mindset. I was like, you know what? It's all right. Like, we're going to work things out. That's just a part of a relationship. It gets rocky and we just got to work it out. And my friends were like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, there's so much better for you. And I didn't understand it in the moment because I had a scarcity mindset. And I was like, yo, like, this is the one. We're going to make it through it. And ever since, like, I got cheated on, I got lied to a bunch of times, I was just constantly in survival mode. Like, every single day I'd wake up, like, nervous. Nighttime would come around. I'd be, like, fucking shaking in my bed. Like, yo, like, what if she cheats again? What if this happens again? And it was like my sleep was terrible because I would literally just be thinking about that all night. And number two, she could feel that. So she didn't take me serious no more after that. And it was like everything just went downhill. And that impacted the hell out of my personal growth because literally it was day in and day out. Like some days would be better. Like we would hang out in person together and things would be great. But then when we went long distance, because we were long distance, and she was in college, so it's like then I would just be worrying all the time, and it was like it wasn't worth it. And it was once I broke free that I realized how much more my life was actually about. Like, I'm literally not kidding. Every single day I would wake up and immediately, like, this just pounding feeling in my heart. Oh, I gotta text her. Oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? What about this? What about this? What about this? And it was like, I didn't realize early enough that that was my signal to get out. Like, I was so attached to making things work my way. I didn't want to trust God because God was trying to close that door way before any of this crap happened. Way before, but I just constantly brushed it off, the little lies here and there, and I was just like, yo, it's okay. Like, that's just how it is. But when God wants a door closed, He's going to close it no matter what you put in the path. If it's not meant for you, that door is going to close. And truth is, once that door closed, everything changed for me. It's like I'm just so much happier now. But the secret war that no one saw, it was just me in my head. Me in my head every night would hit the pillow, me in my head. I would FaceTime her. I wouldn't even want to hang up the phone. I would be that nervous and that scared. So it's like anybody who's going through this, you know what I mean, bro. You got to get out of it. I know when you're in the midst of a relationship, it's like you want it to work and you think this stuff is normal, but bro, there is a woman out there that is so much better for you. That's everything you wanted. Let's not even say so much better than you. There's a woman out there that is everything that you've ever wanted, but you're settling for one that is destroying you. And truly, I held on to this relationship so tight. And once it left my life, it's like all the blessings I've been praying for just poured in. It hurt for like one day. The breakup hurt for one day. I woke up the next morning and I was like, time to get to work. Bro, I tell you, and I kid you not, within days, blessings started to pour in, opportunities here. I was getting calls to make more money. I was getting calls to, get in the gym, work on my physique. I was getting opportunities that weren't even there before. Weren't even there before. And it was simply because I let go of the one thing that was blocking my blessing. That one thing that you may be holding on to may be the very one thing that is blocking you from your dream life. Literally, I kid you not, I'm going to put a picture up right here. This was me in April at my Miami trip with all my brothers. I was still with the girl. That was me. Look at my physique. And we broke up in May. Look at my physique in June. 1 month later, look at the difference. If you seriously don't realize or you may not be able to fathom what I'm saying, look at the physical difference. It all starts in the mind, it all starts in here, and then the physical comes after because the physical is delayed. But guess what? As soon as I felt happier, a byproduct of that was my physique leveled up too. It's a night and day difference. It's a night and day difference. You can see it physically. You can see it with my value that I provide. You can see it with my growth. Everything changed. Everything changed. And it was just that one little thing I needed to let go of. So the relationship, it was never the real issue, right? I can all day say like, yo, it was the relationship, the relationship. No, 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 no. No. The real issue was me. And I'm going to say why. Yeah, all that other crap happened, the lies, the cheating. Yeah, that happened. But that was because of me. Because I was putting all my self-worth on the relationship. Had I been a high value man and actually understood my worth, I would have left a long time ago. I would have left way before and been like, yo, I'm not compromising my standards and my beliefs for you. I would have listened to God and I would have been like, yo, I love you, but this isn't going to work way before any of that crap happened. But I was constantly placing my self-worth on the girl, placing my self-worth on having a relationship. I'm like, yo, I got a girl. It feels good. It feels nice. But it's like, bro, there's 4 billion women. What are you doing? And it was truly just me not acknowledging the real issue. I was constantly externalizing things. I literally remember being like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? Like, well, why? And I would just like be so deep in thought, questioning why, but I was questioning the wrong thing. The wrong thing. Like if I could go back and grab my younger self and just shake him and be like, yo, it's not her. It's not the relationship. It's not life. It's you. It's you. And that would have changed me. Truly, it all started in here. Had I just had self-worth, felt accomplished and felt worthy of love and felt worthy of money and felt worthy of everything back then, man, I would have been out of that a long time ago. But I was so cling to it. I was so attached to it. And I was just literally hanging on by a thread by the fact that that was like my life. It was literally everything. Like there was a point where I traveled to the Dominican Republic on vacation, right? And I said I was going to stay out there a month. I was like, yo, I'm going to go out there for a month. I'm going to work on my grind and I'm going to come back and be a different person. And this was around the time when like she was going to school. She was starting college. So I went out there and I was there for about 4 days, right? I was there for about 4 days. She just started school and things kind of started to go south. Had I been the man I am now, I would have seen a signal, yo, this time to let this go. things started to go south. She started to kind of get mad at me and say stuff towards me, and we would say hurtful things towards each other, being away from each other. I'm not going to completely say that it was her, because most definitely, it started with me. I'm taking accountability, but we were kind of saying hurtful things to each other. And long story short, we got into a huge argument, and she was like, "Yo, I'm gonna leave you. Like, this is never gonna work. Like, I'm so done with you." Blah blah. And I just remember like falling to my knees, feeling so weak. I was sitting in my office at my grandparents' house with my laptop in front of me. I was working a sales job, so I was supposed to be making phone calls. And I just remember falling down to my knees, like I was about to make a ring. And I just remember like grabbing my heart and falling down to my knees, and I just started crying. I felt as weak as ever, as weak as ever. And she was like texting me like, "Yo, like this is the last time you're ever gonna hear from me," stuff like that. And I remember being like, "I can't believe this is happening to me." Yo, I literally was so low and down. I literally called my mom and my brother, and I was crying to them on the phone. And this was like literally like the one of the lowest points I've ever been in. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And they were like, "Yo, like just move on with your life, bro. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be." I called my dad. Asked my dad for advice. Like I was so low, and truly, like the only thing I ran back to was I cut my trip short. Like you guys might be thinking, "Yo, he probably just extended his trip." No, I literally booked a flight back home. I couldn't get a refund on my main flight, so I had to completely cancel it and book a brand new flight back home just to see her, just to fix things. So then I booked a flight to the same city she was in, and I literally spent like less than a week there when I was supposed to spend a month. I couldn't even look my grandparents in the eye and be like, "Yo, I'm leaving because like of this." No, I literally had to like just tell them some bullshit. Like literally, I had to make up a lie to them because I couldn't look them in the eye. Like I couldn't even look myself in the mirror going home from this trip. And I went home and I went to see her, and whatever. We went out like on a date or whatever. Like everything was good. It was all chill. But like in my heart, bro, my soul was as far away from God as ever. My soul was like, "Ivan, what the fuck are you doing?" I remember we went on a date that night. It was like a romantic date or whatever. And then we, for some reason, we decided to go to the bar after. And we went to the bar. We were like drinking shots and drinking. And I remember like just feeling so far away from God. I remember feeling like, "Ivan, this is what your life's come to, bro. You had an opportunity of a lifetime working a sales job. You were overseas, living other people's dream, and you come home and you go to a bar and you get drunk." And so I'm drinking at this bar and I'm looking around and I'm seeing a bunch of college kids. And I'm like, "Bro, if this is my reality, like, this is not what I want." Like, I truly felt so low and so terrible. And like, that story alone just like is truly crazy to think like I was there. Like, somebody with that much potential was there. And then I remember leaving the bar, like, we already had so many drinks. I had to drive us home and I felt like shit. So I just remember walking and we were talking and I was like, "Bro, this is not the fucking reality I want. This is nowhere near the person I want to be." And so we drive back home, and I'm driving home in the car. She's asleep. It's about a 40-minute drive back to the crib we were staying at. And I just remember looking at the road like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing?" And I was so deep in thought that entire drive home. And we got back to the crib or whatever, and I was honestly like a shell of myself. Like I was there, I was enjoying, I guess you could say, enjoying the time, but my spirit was like so disappointed in me. Like I felt so far away from God. I mean, I gave up my opportunities. I cut my trip short because I couldn't handle the potential of losing that relationship. And it was because my self-worth was so heavily attached to it. I made my whole life's purpose making that relationship good. And that cut out a lot of opportunities I had. A lot. Had I stayed on that trip in DR, who knows what my life would have been. But cut it short and I learned. But it was not, I don't blame her. I blame myself, because the truth is, I didn't take accountability. I didn't step into the 1% man I needed to be. I didn't show up every single day to the gym. I didn't do my journaling and wake up early. I didn't do any of that crap. I didn't do any of the stuff I'm doing now. I would wake up and the first thing I do is probably hop on a FaceTime call. But the person I am today was formed through those experiences. And I don't want you guys to go through the same thing. That's why I'm sharing these deep stories and getting vulnerable with you guys, because I want you, the person who's watching this, who resonates with all of this, to not make the same mistakes I did and go through the same pain I did. So the breakup, right? Came to the breakup. It was literally, she broke up with me. I mean, like, she broke up with me. She essentially didn't want to be together anymore. And honestly, that was God's will. God was trying to get me to end things way before this, months before this. But God was like, all right, you're not going to listen. Well, guess what? I'm going to make her do it. So she ended things. And honestly, the ending didn't really even hurt. Like, I feel like I went through more pain throughout the relationship than the actual end. So when the end came about, like, I honestly felt a burden off my shoulders. And that's not to say the relationship didn't have a lot of great times, right? I had a lot of great times with the girl, but like just the pain and the knowingness deep down that I was not fulfilling my purpose and my potential it was finally like the burden was lifted and I knew, yo, I'm meant for so much more. So one day later, I went home, drove home from her crib because that's where we broke up, at her crib. And I went to bed pretty early that night. I woke up the next morning, it was like a switch flipped. And it was like I felt immense peace. I felt my spirit jumping up and down, jumping. And I woke up that next day and everything just started to change. My whole reality started to change. I don't know how to explain it, but like the thoughts I was having weren't negative anymore. They started to be positive. They started to be like, yo, we're about to do X, Y, Z now. We're about to take over. We're about to take the content to the next level. We're about to build up this business. We're about to get the clients the best results in the world. All of that. All that. It's like everything changed. It was like this massive cloud was lifted off of me. Everything changed. And I wasn't just able to do this through, the relationship ending, but also I had brothers in my corner. Real brothers who had my back, who knew the story and who told me, bro, I'm happy for you. You may not see it now, but this is going to be the greatest blessing. And now I see it and I'm like, man, they were so right. So right. And truthfully so, had I not had them in my corner, things may have been a little bit different. But I was able to truly move forward so fast because they were there for me. They were calling me on FaceTime, making sure I was good. They were keeping me busy, being like, yo, let's get some work done tomorrow. Let's hop on a FaceTime call. Like, we were just propelling each other up. They knew that I was kind of in a lower point. They built me up. And truly, truly, everything changed after that day. Like, I kid you not. Like, we're maybe 90 days late, a little bit over 90 days or less than that. I don't even know how long it's been. But however long it's been, I've made the most progress in my life. And it's like sometimes, like I said before, that one girl, that one person you may be holding on to so tight, but you know that you're meant for more, bro. That's not your person. It's like, I know it hurts to want to let them go, but I promise you the rewards on the other side are like, man, you'll never see them. Like, God's vision for you is so much greater than you can ever imagine. So the mindset shift, I completely shifted my mindset after that. Like, I realized, bro, I don't need to be in a relationship. I need to focus on my God-given purpose. I need to walk in the righteous path because God is calling me for more. If you want to attract that high-value woman, you got to be a high-value man. And I was not that. I was not that. So I realized, okay, well, the woman's going to come because I already know I'm a high-value man. As I work on myself, there's going to be tons of women who want me. So whatever, not even doing it for the woman. I'm doing it for me and I'm doing it to impact the world and help the world. So literally right now, I'm just focused on me. I'm embracing growth. I've healed. Like, we've all experienced heartbreak, but some people make the mistake of letting it destroy them. And when I experienced it, I didn't want to self-destruct. I wanted to grow as much as possible. I wanted to grow as much as possible so I could be like, yo, look at what I did. Look at what I did. Look at who I am now. And I could show my younger self the progress I made. Like, it's truly up to you. A heartbreak can either make or break you. You can either go into a spiral and hook up with random chicks and get drunk every night. You could do that, and that'll just ruin all the momentum you have. Or you can use that pain as power and put it all into growing. And I'm telling you, it will be your greatest asset. And aligning my thoughts with faith. The one thing that did change after that ended was I started getting the word daily reading the word every morning and having faith in God, praying every day. And everything changed. Everything changed. I'm reading the Bible every single morning before I even get to work. Like, it was that mindset shift of just having faith in God, focusing on myself and my purpose, and moving throughout life with certainty and knowing, yo, it's already mine. My dreams are already mine. The physical world is just taking time to catch up. And everything changed. So I got certain about my calling. I call this, you call it faith-based manifestation, whatever you want to call it, whatever resonates with you. I don't really care about what the name is, but what I do know is that it works. So the way that this works is you want to determine your purpose. You want to know what your purpose is. We all know what it is. If you're seeking for it, you're not going to find it. The way that you find your purpose is asking yourself, what do I love doing the most? What do you truly love doing the most? Like genuinely, like do you love working out? Do you love building things? Do you love helping people? Once you can figure out what you love doing the most, that you would do it for free for the rest of your life if you knew that it would allow you to live. That is your purpose. And once you figure that out, you essentially want to see what the best version of you doing that is looking like. Like what is the scale of it? Let's say you love working out, you want to start a coaching business and help people. Well, what does the best version of you look like? Do you have 100 clients? Like, what does it look like? Is it online? Is it in person? Do you end up opening a gym? Like, what does it look like to you? The end goal. And once you figure that out, you want to reverse engineer it. So you want to reverse engineer. This is what I did is I reverse engineered it all. I realized my end goal, having a coaching business that impacts thousands, millions of lives. And I reverse engineer it every single day. Okay, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to make sure I get my clients the best results. I'm going to make sure that I provide value on my YouTube, on my Instagram, so that I can help others watching. And I commit to it daily. Every day I do the things that get me into that mode. Like I wake up early. I journal. I do something called the 555 method. Now, the 555 method, I'm going to break it down for you guys real quick because it's very valuable. I don't know if you can see it. This is my little journal. But I write down my 5 biggest goals. That's the first 5. 5 biggest goals. The next 5 are the 5 essential morning routine tasks I need to get done. 50 push-ups, 32 ounces of water, make my bed, cold shower, read and journal. Boom. The last 5 are my 5 biggest needle movers of the day. The 5 biggest things that need to get done to get me to that dream reality. For me today, film a YouTube video, post 2 TikToks, post a YouTube short, post Instagram reel, all that good stuff. That is what it's looking like to me. So it's literally that simple thing. The 555 method will change your life. And Bible study, reading the Bible alongside this, having Bible studies, reinforced my spiritual conviction and transform my mindset. If you guys are trying to grow as a person, highly recommend reading the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Extremely valuable book by King Solomon, the wisest man ever. So read it if you have not. But manifestation the God first way. So I guess you want to call it manifestation, whatever it is. I really don't care how you put it. You can call it prayer, whatever it is, but centering God in it, right? It's literally just realizing that God has a path for you. God knows what we don't know. But all you have to do is not just pray and ask and beg. I feel like modern day prayer is a little bit different than, what actually works best and how people used to pray centuries ago. Modern day prayer is about kind of pushed like about begging and be like, please give me this, please give me that. But you can't ask for something and not put in the work. Now, what I mean by I guess I could say the way that I pray and that's worked for me, is I pray to God, right? I tell God what I want and, I talk to him. I pray to him. But I don't just pray. I also take action. So I pray to God. I tell God all my biggest dreams and to grant me, the guidance and the Holy Spirit to get me to where I need to be and put me in the right places. Yeah, that's great. But I take action too. A lot of people just pray and beg for things and do nothing about it. But I pray. Then I get into my 555 method. I make sure everything is checked off on the day. And I know I'm moving 1% closer because God can only meet you halfway. God can only meet you halfway. You take the first step, he's going to take the next one and give it to you. But you have to show up every day. And oftentimes when you pray, we don't realize that we're living in a prayer. What our life is right now is a thing that we prayed for in the past. Like me right now making this video to you, I prayed to God months ago before I even started this. Oh, I want to impact lives on a grand scale and truly change people's lives too. Through my YouTube. I didn't even have a YouTube when I was praying for that. But right now I'm living that prayer. And yeah, making these videos, it takes time, right? It takes time. But in the moment, we don't realize that. We don't realize we're living in prayer. Sometimes we, I got to film this YouTube video. I got to do this. But then I quickly remember, I'm living in my prayer. I'm grateful to be here. So it's like sometimes we pray to God, right? You might pray to God for strength and he throws obstacles in your path. That's the one thing that's making you stronger. So don't complain about it. Be like, God, I'm glad you're throwing this in my path because guess what? It's making me a stronger man. And once you understand that and you trust God and you move with certainty and know all these dreams in my mind, you planted them, they're going to be mine. It's just a matter of I guess when everything changes, because when you move with certainty, nothing's blocking your path. Those obstacles, you look at them like, oh, great, it's gonna make me stronger, and everything changes. The law of detachment. Now, this one is very important as well. So you can pray for things, right? Know the dreams you want, but you don't want to be hyper attached to it. You don't want to be like, oh, I need it now. I need it by, the end of this month. It has to happen this week. Oh, wait, why isn't it happening this week? Maybe it's not working. Maybe the system isn't working. No, you have the dream, but you let it go. You don't care. Like, you literally have the dream, right? Let's say your dream is, oh, I want to drive like a top tier BMW, and I want to have the nicest apartment in freaking Miami, right? Let's say that's your dream, for example. You can't be hyper fixated on it and be like, oh, when is it coming? Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be the week after? Maybe it's going to be next month. No, you let it go and be like, yo, it's already mine. I have nothing to worry about. It's already mine. That apartment is already mine. That BMW is already mine. And so it's just a matter of when. I'm doing everything daily to get there, and I know it's mine because I can feel it. But when it comes, it comes. And when you shift to that mindset, it comes that much quicker. That much quicker. But when you cling to when, that's a dangerous cycle to get into. So, what changed after that shift? After I shifted everything, I transitioned from devices to from watching porn and placing my self worth on that girl, vaping, drinking, all that crap. It was a night and day difference. Everything changed for me. I had improved relationships with my friends, with my family, with women. Everything changed because I aligned with my purpose. I aligned with the man I am. It's like I can walk into any room and carry myself the way I am because I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I love myself. I love myself. I could walk into a room full of millionaires. I could walk into a room at a church. I could walk into a room anywhere, and I could carry myself properly because I know who I am and I love me. I don't care who's around me. I'm going to be authentically me. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, I don't care. That's how I move now. But back before, when I lacked confidence and all my freaking self worth was in the relationship, I would walk into a room and get nervous. Or I'd be like, yo, what if I say something wrong? Like, what if they don't like me? Like I was hyper fixated on little things like that. But then when you grow into the man you want to be, you really don't care what other people think. It's like, yo, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm just going to keep it pushing. And it's like that mentality, I move with faith. It replaces all my worries because I know, yo, it's already mine. Everything I dream of is already mine. And I just carry myself with more confidence now. Like I walk into any room and people feel it. People feel it. And even then, in my mind, I feel like, yo, there's so much more progress I can make. I always want to be better. I'm always striving for more. But then again, to that kid who was lacking self worth and engaging in vices, who I am now is like a dream. So it's like it all lies behind just making that tough decision to move on from that relationship, making that tough decision to get started on your purpose, making that tough decision to go all in. It's literally all starts there. I can tell you word for word the thoughts I used to have and the doubts of, oh, it's gonna be so hard. What if I never find another girl? All that crap. But once I overcame it, the other side is beautiful. It's like you're in a nice mansion, beautiful mansion. You have massage chairs, you got a hot fire, you got steak in front of you, and you look out into the field, and the field is just barren land. It's just grass. It's just grass, and then there's a huge mountain behind it. You're like, yo, why would I ever leave this mansion and go out into that field? This is amazing. But when you cross that field, you go through the rocks. Yeah, it's bumpy, it's hard, but on the other side is an even bigger mansion with even more amenities, with a pool, with a basketball court, with everything you wanted. And that's how it is. The devil will mask our current reality as comfortability. I used to feel like my life with that girl was like that mansion. It was nice and warm, and I had the steaks and I felt good, even though I wasn't feeling good inside. But as soon as I left that mansion and said, yo, there's got to be better, I crossed through the valley, the valley of the difficulties, of the discomforts, crossed the mountain, and on the other side was an even bigger mansion, more comfortable, more amenities, a basketball court, a pool, everything I could ever want. And guess what? I'm still growing and I'm going to go to an even bigger mansion. So it's like it all truly changes. It looks like it's hard, but it really isn't. And once you step into it, the uncomfortability, and you start to love it, that's when you know you're getting close. So for you watching this, I want you to reflect. If you feel stuck, if you feel frustrated, if you're in a relationship that you know you're not happy, or you're questioning things, bro, chances are you shouldn't even be there. You shouldn't even be there. Like if you're questioning things, You got to focus on yourself. If you're placing your self-worth on the relationship or on money or on anything outside of you, if you don't believe you're already worthy, bro, you're messing up. And I want you to focus on becoming the version of you that you want to be. You have dreams. You have a dream in your heart. You're watching this video because you know you're meant for more. You have a dream in your heart. But the only way that it can come true is if you actually start taking action. And it's like, truly, you may think things are big. You may think it's a big deal to start focusing on your purpose. You may think it's a big deal to let go of that girl. But it really isn't, because at the end of the day, you only live once. It's not even that big of a deal. In a year, you won't even really remember it, and you'll probably end up being grateful for it. I say 99.9% of the time, you'll be grateful for it if you actually do everything you're supposed to. So begin with self-reflection and faith. Like, God hasn't given up on you. Bro, when I was in my lowest point, furthest away from him, I didn't even believe in God at that point. But when I was at my lowest, on my knees, he showed up and he was like, yo, I'm here for you. God was there for me. Even though I didn't believe in him for a while, I was far away from God when I was in that relationship. But when it ended, he accepted me with opening arms. And that's why I'm able to make this video right now, because I took that re-invitation from God and give my life to him, give my life to live in the purpose he's calling me for. And it's like, what I'm going to challenge you to do is for the next 7 days, just start each morning with a prayer, with a thought, whatever you want to call it, to become your best self. You want to prime your mind. So every single morning, I want you to wake up and I want you to obviously get out of bed, do it in a chair or something, close your eyes and really think about what the dream you does. What does he wake up? What does he wear? What does he do on a day-to-day basis? How intense does he work out in the gym? What is he like? Everything. I want you to really think about everything and realize it and feel it. Feel what it feels like to be that man. And you feel happy? You feel excited? How does it feel? Because thought is one thing, but when you tie something to emotion, it is so much more powerful. That's why when you feel like sadness or immense sadness or immense suffering, you can always relate back to that very moment because of the feeling. You don't remember the thought, you remember the feeling. So this challenge requires daily intentionality. You have to be intentional and you have to have faith. You want to focus on aligning with the version of you want to become. And you want to just surrender control. Quit trying to control things. Like, God's got a plan for you. Quit trying to control the relationship. Quit trying to control, oh, this has to work this way, or I have to, become successful by doing X, Y, Z. Like, no, you want to be successful. That's enough. But now start taking action. You don't need to literally control each and every single thing and know the outcome of everything. Screw outcome. Focus on inputs. Focus on what you can do daily to get there and know with certainty that it is already yours. If you have that dream in your mind, it is already yours. But with that being said, guys, this video does not matter if you don't apply anything. Everything that I talked about today was to give you guys insight into what to do and how to actually take over. It doesn't matter if you watch this whole thing entirely and do nothing. But if you take action and actually get yourself in the right direction, that is how you begin to change your life. But for those of you that watch all the way through, you're real ones. If you truly want to take your life to the next level and want further guidance, click the link down below, apply for Built by Faith coaching. And if you're serious, we will hop on a call, see where you're at. And if it makes sense, we will move forward with things. But with that being said, guys, appreciate you watching all the way through. If you haven't yet, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.